Many people don't think about it, but this can save a life. Did you ever think what would happen if paramedics could not find your home?
Oh my gosh! It's so hard to see an address on a house in the dark, and people don't turn on their lights, or the numbers are so small. There has to be a good solution.
Welcome back. Today I would like to explain how I built my large lighted addresses for retail sale, but COVID put an end to that. However, with this, you can transform your front of your home or building to a beautiful landscape lighting effect. It's not about pizza delivery as much as emergency services, where time is of the essence to be found and saved, and with these address numbers, your building will be seen very easily. I used polycarbonate plastic, which is extremely tough, and cut then to 10 inches, not 6 or 7, and offset them from the wall by about a ½ inch to give the look of indirect lighting, and the wall washed with light accented the numbers. You can use whatever material you want like acrylic, wood, metal. That is your choice as it becomes part of your home's landscape design. But I use polycarbonate, or by another name Lexan plastic. It's tough and durable and easier to cut and won't break like acrylic. The choice is up to your imagination and desire. I will explain things as we go. In the meantime, let's build this from template to finished product. First, we get some material. I will select the polycarbonate as that is what I have, and it withstands the weather unlike wood, which needs to be looked after constantly, or metal, which rusts or tarnishes. The polycarbonate can be cut easily with a scroll, sawn and easily sanded, so let's select the size we want. I like the 10-inch as it looks bold, makes a statement, and easy to see from the street, and will install LED lighting strips from behind. This is very easy to see, especially in case of an emergency, which is what I want, as a quicker response from paramedics can save a life. For your consideration of how they look, I printed up sizes from 5-inch, 6, 7, and 10-inch. Most house seems to have 5 or 6-inch and during the home shows. A lot of people say they don't want to be found. When explained the reasoning why it is a necessity, some said they can use a flashlight or their outside lighting on either end of the house was enough light. But when we said it's a landscape lighting, they stopped to talk. Go figure. Just a quick note, these numbers do not need to be backlighted as they are large enough to be seen easily. But if you wish that special look, then backlighting is quite the enhancement. And since you are making them unique, feel free to use whatever color finish you want. If your bricks are dark, then use a light color spray paint for plastic. If your decor is red trim, then you can use a red spray for plastic. It's a primer. And paint. Some of my customers never had to do any touch-ups as the paint is weather resistant. Just make sure it's visible in case of an emergency.
Hey, Tinker, stop talking already and tell me how to build this.
Okay. First get your material. Like I mentioned, I am using polycarbonate. It have a plastic protection sheet on both sides. Just remove one of the sheets but leave the other side on. Next, take your number template that you're printed or fashioned on paper and place it on the sheetless side of the material, making sure to use a water-soluble glue stick that can be gotten anywhere, and stick the template on the material, making sure to cover most of the area so the saw blade does not rip it up. Allow the glue to set a bit. Now, you are ready to cut the number. I should mention that I am using 1/4 inch thick material. Carefully start cutting out the number. I recommend a scroll saw as it's easy and quicker to cut out the design. However, you can use a coping saw, or if desperate, a jigsaw, but don't really recommend that. Either way, make sure you use blades for plastic, as the motion of the blade may cause a warm spot if going to slow and fusing the material back together if using plastic. Once cut out, sand the edges to smoothen things out in case you made a rough cut, and prepare the LED 12-volt lighting strips. This will need some attention. Once the numbers are cut, put the number and template in water to dissolve the glue and paper and pat dry. We want to use 12-volt strips. They usually come in a roll of about 5 meters or about 5 yards, 2 feet. They come in 3 colors: warm white, which is a yellowy color, easier on the eyes, cool white, which has a brighter color, and daylight, which has a lot of blue in it. Most of my customers chose cool white, but for myself, I like the warm white. Next, drill the holes for a number 8 screw that go through the hole of the number and through a ½ inch spacer and into the brickwork or siding. Please notice in the picture that on these strips there are 3 LEDs, then 2 gold-colored pads, then 3 more LEDs. These gold-colored pads is the only place you can cut the strips, as each group of 3 LEDs needs the 12 volts. You cannot twist the strips to fit and expect them to stay in place, so depending on the number, you may have to put strips of 3 or 6 LEDs. As you see, on this number on the bottom, there are 2 separate strips of 3 LEDs on either side of the mounting hole, then a long strip uncut up the center, then short strips at the top to give a uniform light effect. Each cut strip must be connected to the previous strip by soldering it in with a fine wire to allow the voltage to pass to the next strip. A longer wire is connected at the bottom in this case to allow the wire to pass through a hole drilled through the brick and into the garage, where all the numbers are then connected in parallel, and then to the power supply, which is a small 120 to 12 volt transformer. Please note, the back of the strip has an adhesive. This is really not great. I use an E600 glue or goop to make sure it sticks and cover all connections. Once the wires of the numbers are connected, you then run one set down to a receptacle where a timer is plugged in, or a smart plug controlled by Google or Alexa. These are cheapest ways to control the lighting. If you go with a dusk to dawn circuit, you need to install that circuit, which will be seen. I just use the smart plug. It adjusts itself after a power outage, unlike a plain timer. On a final note, large numbers are easily seen. Lighted numbers are easier seen and offer a unique lighting effect. That enhances your home. Add that margin of security and safety. It could save a life when paramedics are coming, or even for the pizza delivery. This product was endorsed by our local medics, as well as the Law for Safety and Response. I hope you enjoyed this video and realize that safety does come in numbers, so to speak. For now, I am the Tinker. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy what I have to offer in my series of videos on safety and help for folks who need it. Thank you.